My name is Martin Chambers and I'm a skipper of the tour boat at Penguin Island, and I've written a book about Penguin Island, yes.
And you're a biologist as well?
Well, I call myself that, yeah. I studied veterinary science and I just love mucking around here and playing with wildlife.
One of the themes of your book is looking at how things change and how they stay the same as we sit here on a beautiful day and the wind is down and the water is clear and the gulls are screaming, perhaps as usual. How much changes day to day, week to week, season to season, even year to year as part of this island life you experience?
Yeah, I mean, everything changes, but every year it comes back again, and I think that's the thing that never ceases to amaze me, is you watch something change and you think, well, that was amazing, it's never coming back, and then the same time next year it all happens again. What's happening at the moment is the bridal terns, which migrate down here from the Philippines and Borneo, and then they've been nesting and they're starting to fledge. So there's big flocks of them, and you'll see as people walk around the beaches, or we've had an eagle come over today, and they're really nervous because there's a lot of eggs just starting to hatch, a lot of young ones fledging. So as you walk around the island, you'll get buzzed by bridal terns who are never actually going to hit you, but they'll swoop at you and try and scare you. From now on, that flock, there's probably about 10,000 birds in that flock, and from now on they get more and more intense training because they all leave on the same day. And there's probably there's 10,000 birds by around about Easter time. This massive flock of birds will just be flying around, and really we say that they're learning to fly together. Who knows? But one day they decide it's time to leave, and they all go. And
they all go on the same day?
Yeah, we don't see them leave. We just turn up for work, and there's none here. And of course, that's the signal for the gulls to start nesting. And the gulls there's a great contrast between the gulls and the terns, because the terns are this cute little bird. They have a white egg, so they actually share the same nest sites. And they have terns have a white little egg, and you walk around when they're sitting on eggs, and they'll be sitting there, and they're doing this little mantra, and the little black and white bird with this bright white egg that stands out in the nest, and the tern's just sitting there looking at you going, I'm invisible, you can't see me, I'm invisible. And they won't fly away, they'll just sit there and it's on their egg. And the gulls have this camouflage green egg, and if the gulls didn't make a fuss, you would walk past and you wouldn't even see their eggs. And the gulls will fly past and they'll squawk at you and make a racket, and they'll dive and actually hit you in the head and try and scare you off. If the gulls just took a leaf out of the terns book and just quietly left and walked away, you'd walk past their nest and wouldn't even see their eggs. So the gulls are so aggressive defending the nest sites, but the terns, when they arrive back around about October, they kick all the gulls off their nest site and they take over the island. And so even though we perceive them as being cute little non-aggressive little things, they must have some reason that they manage to harass the gulls, and the gulls leave.
Well, that's an amazing moment, because for anyone who's seen gulls, out on any beach anywhere, they always look like they rule the roost, so to speak, don't they?
Yeah. There's a lot of researchers. Penguin Island's a fantastic island for researchers to come to, and so we carry them across and we get to talk to them. And there was a girl who was researching the gulls, and I brought her across on the boat, and she was telling me about the gulls, and I just said, well, who cares? She gave me this look that made my, I just about died. And the last conversation I had, which was 2 years she was doing this research, and the last conversation I said, well, how's your research going? Oh, she goes, oh, who cares? And the gulls could actually recognise her, and she'd be walking up here on the valley over there, and they were calling in a different way when it was her as when it was someone else up there, or when it was an eagle come across. So very, very intelligent birds. And they're, because most birds are feeding on, plunge diving, picking up fish, or they have a particular feeding habit, whereas the gulls are scavengers. And any species that's a scavenger has to be pretty intelligent, because it's got to be able to identify all sorts of different food sources. They watch people arrive, and they know that when people arrive, there's going to be, for lunchtime, there's going to be food, so you see them fly. At the end of the day, all the gulls fly back across the sandbar and actually follow the sandbar back to the island, because they know that this is time to come and forage because everyone's left.
What's amazing from what you were saying in island life is that there were no gulls on this island, no birds really at all on Penguin Island. What is in the 40s?
Well, I wasn't here myself, but that's what they say. And yeah, there was no gulls nesting here. And in fact, they did say that in Probably when Europeans first arrived, there was probably less than 600 silver gulls in the Perth region. And now we have something like 10,000 nesting on Penguin Island every year. The gulls are not a true seabird. They require fresh water, and so they're a scavenger as well. So the two things that humans do is leave lots of rubbish around, and we reticulate our gardens. We leave fresh water everywhere. So the gulls are thriving because of humans. Driving the ferry is that you see humans in the same way as you see the birds. So I think there's a subspecies of humans as well, and there's thousands of people just walk across and try and save $1, and you can see all the ways they're trying to avoid being seen, or they have this guilt trip that I've actually walked across and someone's going to arrest me or something. Probably of all the species we have, people behave. I mean, we behave the same, but we behave in our own little quirky ways as well.
I was at a coffee shop recently with Island Life in my hand, and the barista said, "Oh, island life, that sounds like the life to me." What do you reckon?
We all dream of living on an island, and I've tried to get across the how this area here is interconnected. So we actually live. This is an island, but Australia's an island, and in fact the globe is an island. One of the things I talk about in the book is the bridle terns. They migrate up to the Philippines and Borneo, and if we do anything here or they do anything there to decimate that population, it has an effect halfway around the world. We all live on an island. It's just it's a mental state.